Welcome, my friends, to Thirsty Thursday. This week with special guest Nicholas Lawrence. He is one of the most creative magicians on the planet. He is our special guest this week. We are going to be talking all about creativity and answering your questions. Maybe you want some help learning to be more creative with your magic. Maybe you just want to know what his favorite food is. Maybe you just want to hang out with us and chat for a bit. Well, that's what we're here for, and that's why we're here with this man, Mr. Nicholas Lawrence. How we doing, buddy? What's up?
Hey, sorry, I was working on something, but I plan on showing some top secret stuff. So I figured this would be a great way to open up.
The underground
Next,
stuff.
this is next level underground finger magic that I don't think you guys are ready for. So
I agree, dude. It's good to see you, man.
yeah, it's great to see you, man. This is awesome.
Um, for those
Thanks
who
for
don't
having
know,
me on.
Nicholas was you were in Vegas for what was it, about 2 years? Did you get about 2 years in?
Just about, I lose track
Yeah,
with a lot of things like that.
yeah,
Meaning I don't really keep track. It was about 2 or 3 years I was in Vegas.
yeah. And then we ended up becoming pretty good buddies there towards the end of your run here, probably about the last year or so. And then you left. And now
Oh
where are
yeah,
you?
in the Philippines. I'm closer to the sushi, Luke. I'm closer to the sushi.
I do love my sushi. You know this. You know this. So, my friend, what's been going on with you? Obviously, you moved across the world. Why the heck would you do that? A lot of people might be wondering about that to begin with. Why did you leave the country, of all things?
Well, you know, I might have some inside information about something, so I want you guys to all seek for shelter and hide and run and get out. No, I'm just kidding. No, I've always been a very kind of private person my whole life, but also kind of sporadic. And if I have an idea, I just can drop everything and just go for it. So I mean, even when I grew up in New York and moved to Vegas, or actually first I moved to Columbus, I just dropped everything. But for me, as some of you guys know, I got married, so I met my wife in while I was living in Las Vegas, and she's from the Philippines, and it was just a lot of going back and forth. But I ended up deciding to the number one reason was to move here because she has a lot more family than I do. She's closer with her family, and I just thought that it meant obviously something to her, but me as well for us, as a husband and wife to be closer to family. So, and I've been getting a lot of that here. So, yeah, that's kind of number one reason.
Yep, that is one of the most important reasons, right? To be,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
But
Um,
also, a good just break from just standard life. I mean, just as you guys can know, I mean, I don't want to get too much into politics and things like that, but there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the U.S. and I'm just the type of person who's just so laid back, and I don't really get into any of it. So I think that was kind of nice just to take a break and just be able to go to affordable trips to tropical islands like just next door. So that's another plus. But yeah.
right on, man. I'm getting this also shared out on the old socials. So if you guys have any questions for Nicholas, feel free to go ahead and start dropping them in the chat. And then also, we're going to put the link in the chat as well. If you want to call in and actually ask Nicholas something here on the show, that's why we do these things live. So um, we're going to kick things off though with my first question. I have a few that I already put together here for you, my friend. Um, other than why are you living in the Philippines? um, a lot of people want to know, is creativity something that you're born with, or is it something that you can learn and foster and actually be good at it with practice or by working on it? Or is it just something that you either have it or you don't? That's a pretty common question when it comes to creativity.
It's funny to both of those questions. I would honestly say both because I do feel like some people are born naturally curious, and I think curiosity is um, a good starting point, for being creative. But also, yeah, you can learn it. You can definitely. I mean, it's creativity is like a muscle. You know what I mean? The more you use it, the stronger you're going to become at it. Um, I try to give even friends advice, and it's usually just looking out for unique things, right? If you're naturally curious and you're the type of person who likes to ask why, what, where, what is that, all those things, creativity is going to come from that, right? So even just learning new different types of hobbies, and if you're watching a movie and you ask yourself, how the hell did they pull that scene off, and you research it, well, just by doing that, that could spark something, right? Um, you know, I don't want to. I had this like perfect idea, but I don't want to reveal it because it's a friend of mine. But he was thinking of something. I'll just call it. Someone's maybe like their anniversary or something, and he was thinking about special dates, and he came up with this ingenious idea. Um, and I think he's actually in here. I'll just say I'll give credit to my buddy Worm. He's in here. He just recently came up with something insane, and it just comes from just being curious and on the lookout. You know. But if you could elaborate on the question a little bit more, or what part did I miss there? But I think I
No.
covered a bit on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest key to it is people not stopping themselves thinking that, oh, I'm not creative, so I never will be. I think that's a roadblock some people might just need to get rid of.
No, no, it's definitely not. You just need to involve yourself, and I think it's really easy to doubt yourself too when you're in a community and you're seeing all these magicians releasing things, and you're asking yourself like, why didn't I think of that, or why can't I come up with things like that? Well, I usually don't ask myself the second question, but I do ask myself the first question a lot. I see something ingenious come out, and I ask myself, I'm like, why didn't I think of that? So it's perfectly natural to not just like have these ideas, immediately, But I would say the number one thing, besides everything I said, is know what's out there, right? I mean, be very well versed in magic, understand a lot of like, you know, um, I think in my realm it's gimmicked magic, but I still think it's important to understand a lot of the sleight of hand that goes with magic, right? I mean, even if it's knowing about double facers and double lifts, right? That's a great out for doing magic with a sign playing, right? But it's definitely the more you know, and it's really just looking for inspiration, and then also going back to the more you know with method wise, right? Finding interesting methods, whether it be science related, it could be carpentry. It could be a trick that carpenters use, and you can look at it and go like, I wonder if I applied that to, you know, a wooden box or something like that. Uh, if it's slightly deceptive or if it's slightly interesting, there might be something there. And I think the deeper you dive into it, and the more truly interested you are in magic and in method and just knowing why and how things work, you're definitely on the way. So
Yeah. Right on. Good stuff.
yeah.
Um, some questions already coming in from some of our friends out there. Ray's got a big one, and obviously some of these might have more than one answer to. Like this one, Ray Coleman. What magician has inspired you the most in your creativity? So when it's specific to that, who would you say?
And I think the guy I'm about to say might even be getting tired of me saying it, because I say it all the time. I give this guy so much credit, but it's Garrett Thomas, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you guys are familiar with his work. Um, we grew up in the same city, Buffalo, New York, and I was just a little kid, and this guy was maybe like, I think when I was around 8 or 10, he was around the age of like 25, 26, and he was already a working magician, and he inspired me a ton, like just a ton. And he always had this bar that was just unreachable for me, because he was like, if you've seen Garrett Thomas perform, you'll know that he's just like perfection. When it comes to not only the tricks he chooses to
Yeah.
perform, the tricks that he's creating, but how he performs even just down to the presentation, he makes it feel like real magic. Both, visually and like cerebrally, with just this interesting storytelling and how he can connect with you. He makes it like a conversation, and there's nothing bad about what that guy's doing. So I'd say he's always been a mentor to me, where I can come and ask him questions, and I mean, I would consider him, almost like a hero in magic. I mean, as I've gotten older, I mean, it blows my mind that it's almost 10 years ago I released my first trick. But I just feel like he's definitely somebody I've always looked up to. And if you guys aren't familiar with his work, dive deep. And everything you learn from him will be something practical and just mind boggling for your audience. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good choice. He's definitely, in that elite league for sure. So
Yeah,
good
definitely.
choice. Um, Another one coming in here is, and we'll get to a couple of these a little bit later because some people want to know also what you're working on next. And I know that you were going to maybe tease up a thing or two, but we'll
Yeah.
get to that in just a moment. Um, let's see what another good one is. Mr. Reader wants to know, who were your mentors in Magic that inspired your interest when you were younger? So obviously we know who creatively now, you kind of look to, but in the early days, who were some of those mentors or
I mean, maybe not so much mentors because I could really say there's only truly one, which is I mentioned with Garrett. But I started with Magic with things like seeing David Copperfield on TV, seeing the Masters of Magic, things like that. So even people like Lance Burton. I'm not a stage guy, but he definitely like really piqued my curiosity in Magic. Um, but sorry, I can't say that. He was like kind of like the starting point. Seeing magicians like Lance Burton on TV, a lot of stage magicians. But then it started getting into more of the learning magic, and I would say there's two people, and that would be I'm going to start with OG rest in peace Daryl, right? So when learning magic, seeing what you could do with a deck of cards and how to present it and how deceptive these little things can be if you just practice them and perfect them. And then I would say, obviously the star of magic, David Blaine,
Oh yeah.
seeing him taking magic to the street is what truly piqued my curiosity and my interest in magic. So it went from me like thinking magic is really cool to seeing David Blaine and then realizing, okay, this is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I love this, and it immediately kind of sparked creativity for me. So, I mean, I would say just a few people I named are really great. Just between legends and living legends and magic that I owe a lot to for sure.
Yeah, right on. I also want to let our friends know something. I don't think even Nicholas knew this, but tonight only, all things magic. The stuff that we have of Nicholas's is on sale just tonight only. So I wanted to say that
Oh, look at that! Look at
we have the
that!
Nicholas Lawrence Magic on sale tonight only. So if you guys are looking to grab some stuff, we got it for you tonight. I also wanted to say this about some new stuff because we're talking about your products here. We had David first. He wants to know, what are you working on next too? So obviously, we know the catalog of Nicholas Lawrence is like this thick, and it's growing. So
Yeah,
what's next
constantly.
for Nicholas Lawrence? Any teasers? Anything you can
Yeah,
say? I guess.
dude. Of course, to be honest, for two reasons. I love this group, and I've obviously been a good friend of yours for a long time. You're just such a likable person, and I just love what you're doing. And I
Thank you.
think this would be a great group to share things with. And I don't think I wouldn't do this just on Facebook. So if you guys see what I'm going to show you guys tonight, try to keep it in the group. But yeah, I could definitely show you guys some things. And I've never been one to worry about, you know, being super secretive about what's coming out. Um, but it is important. But I think I could show you guys a couple things. I did have a few things here in front of me. This one is probably the most important thing to me because it's actually my next product that I'm producing. And I'm not going to tell you what the trick is because I do kind of want to reserve that and protect it because I am the only one who's in control of this one. It's not produced by Penguin or anybody else. But I'll just show you guys the mock-up for the packaging so you guys can see the name of the trick, right? And you can see that this is a utility gimmick, right? So this is just a mock-up for the packaging, and you can see it's called Sharpshifter. And yeah, it's a utility gimmick. So this is something you can do. I mean, just right now, and I haven't even filmed the tutorial yet, but it's about 5 tricks, 5 routines. But I honestly feel like this thing has no cap to it because it's like I don't want to give too much away, but it's something that once you start learning the routines I'll teach you, I'm almost certain you're going to come up with your own, whether it be your own phases to routines I've created or your own effects. So yeah, super excited about this. Um, that's the first kind of teaser, but just to kind of show you guys something, because I know you guys want to see something, right? So And by
Never.
the way,
Never.
forgive me if I'm not really used to performing sitting down or looking at camera, but I think I should be able to pull this off. I'll briefly just tell you guys about. Um, it's called Swiss Key, and if you guys have been following Hansen Chen Productions, he's going to be the producer for this. He put out a trick called, and I know you guys have seen this. It's the Scotch and whiskey, right? And just to kind of a little bit of a lead into this trick. This is something I created a long time ago, but no magic company was willing to take it on. I mean, there was a few who tried, and I ended up getting my rights back from because they just were not able to make this thing look good, right? And between me and them, we were just like, no, I need this to look great. So Hanson was definitely the guy for this after seeing Scotch and Whiskey. And I don't mind if it gives something away about this effect. I really don't, because this is not only is this kind of like what I was just talking about with my Sharpie. This is a utility gimmick. So I'm going to show you guys one effect that you can do with it, and it's probably a version that you haven't seen floating around the internet yet, which is kind of cool. But this is a utility device, so you're not only going to learn what I'm going to show you here. I'm going to show you multiple versions of this effect. Plus, I think we're up to 4 or 5 other effects that you can do with it too. So basically, what you're going to do here is you're going to truly borrow any bill, okay? Have the key examined, no switch, no ditch, nothing like that. You're going to display them at your fingertip. You say, watch the key. You're going to take the key, put it inside the bill, right? Just like this. If I just kind of tug a little bit, I can actually get it to go straight through. And check this out, look. That is genuinely going through, and the mirroring here messes me up a little bit, but you guys can see it's going straight through. All right, check this out. You can take this, pull it out. And what's really nice about this is no switch, no ditch. You can take this key, hand it right to the spectator, right? Put it in their hands, and now all the focus goes into the presentation of restoring the bill, right? So I think you guys knew where I was going with that. But what I love so much about this, let me just reiterate again. I mean, this is truly as clean as it gets. This can be examined before. Can be truly borrowed. There's nothing to palm or ditch. Everything's self-contained, and it all lies into this crazy key that was produced by Hanson. And yeah, I couldn't be happier. But the fact that it can do more than just one effect is just kind of like the icing on the cake. But to be able to do a trick that I've always enjoyed, which is just like a pen through bill style effect, but with just an everyday carry item that's as clean as it can get. Yeah, so I'm super excited about this one. It's called Swiss Key. Hanson should be dropping it in the next couple months. So yeah.
All right. A little insight.
I know that was a lot. I know that was a lot. It's like you just got like a sneak peek on what's coming with this one, and also a live performance of something that's coming really soon as well. But yeah, I even got a couple more things to talk about too. So
Yes, we do. And I will say, I had a chance to see Nicholas kind of show me how some of this stuff works, the Sharpie and the key trick. And I got to tell you something, you guys are in for a treat with the thing I love about them more so isn't they're not just visually cool, but they're actually really workable and practical in the way that they work. And it's also not knuckle busting stuff. Like you don't have to be, and that's something I want to say about Nicholas. While he's known for gimmicks, while he's known for these crazy, clever ideas, the man is a beast with sleight of hand. And I think sometimes that kind of gets lost because people are so focused on, oh my God, he's got this new crazy method for how this works, whatever. But when you're demoing tricks at conventions, I know I've seen you do that a lot. Um,
yeah,
it just looks so damn good in your hands. And yeah, I think that's just something worth
well, I
noting.
appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are surprised because I'll be at a convention and instead of me, well, I will perform my own gimmick stuff, but a lot of times I like to just be like, oh, can I see your deck of cards? And then I'll go into some kind of hardcore sleight of hand, and it's just a nice to shake it up. But yeah, I mean that was one of the first things I learned before I ordered any magic or went to any magic shop. I just had a deck of cards, and I was trying to kind of mimic what I saw Blaine doing on TV, and that was truly my first love in Magic was sleight of hand, learning the ambitious card routine, 2-card transposition, palming, cards to wallet. So I was definitely obsessed, very obsessed. I mean, I'm still obsessed with Magic, but obsessed with you know, these moves and how and being very critical on myself. And I think you need to be, if you're a magician, you should never, you know, just float through something or just like look at something and go, oh yeah, I'm doing it good enough. It'll fool somebody. You know, if you just really take it to the next level and you obsess, only good will come from it. You know, for sure. But yeah, I'm a lover of both, and I'm a believer that you need both to be a great magician. So.
Oh, agreed, man. When you start combining sleight of hand and gimmicks, the world is your oyster. Like you can do so much cool shit.
Yeah, and kind of bouncing off what you said about people seeing me perform magic or demo magic at conventions,
Yeah.
is yeah, I definitely want to make the trick look its best and give you something to shoot for when purchasing a trick, right? So you might not be able to do it as good as me, in the first week or two, but what I can guarantee is after sometimes a day of practice, but it might take you 2 weeks of practice, but whatever it takes you, it is achievable and it is practical. It's just a different way of thinking that maybe you're not used to. So once you get over that curve, it's going to be performable. It's going to be workable. You're going to love it. People are going to love it. But more importantly, if you look at how I performed it, if that's what that was the spark that made you say, "Ooh, I need that. I want that." Well, it's achievable. It's just you got to obsess and you've got to just look at the little details of things. So I wouldn't say it's difficult. It's more about you just need to be passionate. You have to practice. None of my products are going to be knuckle busting like sleight of hand, but it is going to require what I would call like a dance, right? There's steps, and if you hit those steps right, you get that metronome, the beats, um, and just kind of mimic what I'm doing. Yeah, you're gonna look. You'll look just as good as what you saw in the trailer for sure. Nothing's edited and nothing's. It's all legit, and you just got to work hard at it. And I want to take that back. It's like working hard. Maybe it's just about being passionate. It's about being just obsessed and just putting in the time. So yeah,
Yep. Put in the work. Yep.
that's it, man. Yeah.
Yep. Um, more questions coming in. And again, if anyone would also like to call in, we've got the link in the chat. You guys can just click that and it'll bring you in here. So you're more than welcome to join us on here. We do have some other questions due. Speaking of kind of like the impromptu stuff you were just talking about, Hungry and Hungover on YouTube said, besides gimmicks, if someone gives you a deck, what's your favorite impromptu thing to perform? So obviously it would have to be a card trick, as he said, if they give you a deck.
Yeah. So it's funny. I rarely perform magic nowadays. Just mainly because my lifestyle, having 4 dogs, being married, focusing on other things besides magic. But when I do perform, and this literally happened the other night, and it just got posted on Facebook by my friend Jeff Tam, and it was such an impromptu moment. I didn't think I was going to be performing magic. I didn't bring any magic with me. But there's 2 things. So one, whether I have a deck of cards or they have a deck of cards, I'm going to do standards in Magic. I'm going to do ambitious card, card to wallet. That's things that involve rising to the top of the deck visually or non-visually. Card to mouth, and that's a great trick. 2 card transposition, just to name a few. I will enter at the end of my ambitious card. I'll go into something knuckle busting, which is something I call the rising, which visually melts the card through the deck. But then also ring. So I'll do some ring magic, both some Garrett Thomas ring thing, but also just my touches on it. And then also I pull my finger off. I'm known for kind of taking off my pinky. So I'll do that because it's totally impromptu and it gets gasps. People seem to enjoy it. And I like to resort to the classics. Just keeping it simple. But that's definitely what I'm doing. It's ring stuff and it's card stuff. The basics, the fundamentals.
Right on. We have a call-in guest as well. I don't know, Rohit. I don't know if you have your camera on or not. I'm going to see if he is with us.
Yeah, I have it on, but it's not showing up on the call-in.
That's interesting. Do you want to try to call back real quick? If it doesn't work again, we can just bring in his audio. So he's going to do that real quick. Our first live caller. All right. Which is what we love to do here on our weekly shows. And if you're here for the first time, don't forget, we're normally live on Tuesdays. We're normally doing a Taco Tuesday show. But tonight we are Thirsty Thursday, so cheers to our friends out there. And all right, I think Rohit's here, but I don't think we have any video for him, so we can still hear him. I think so. We can bring him on in. Rohit, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
We got you, buddy. What's up? What you got for
Yo,
Nicholas?
what's happening?
Okay, I think it's back drawing because it's also on my Zoom here. But anyways, I had a question, Nick. When you have an idea for like a new gimmick or something, do you have connections with like engineers or people who can produce your idea before, like, because how do you build them all by hand?
No, no, man. I don't have connections with anybody. I just do it myself. I feel like going back to the creativity thing, it might have just been natural for me. So ever since I was a kid, I was the type of person that would take my dad's tools apart to figure out how they work, or just taking things apart and then literally getting scared that I was going to get in trouble if I couldn't figure out how to put it back together, which sometimes that happened. But yes, I think I was just naturally kind of good at tinkering and observing how other things work, even like a door hinge, right? Thoroughly understanding how a door hinge works and how it supports itself, how it swivels, the fact that it can get rusted because it's metallic. All little tiny details I've always been interested in. So, but if you're not like that, yeah, you're going to need somebody, whether it be a friend, a family member, and they don't need to know anything about magic either. I mean, you can literally just say, "This is what I'm trying to do. Are you familiar with this type of thing?" Or "I'm running into this issue every time it folds, it breaks. What can I do to support it?" It's clearly a support issue or a structural issue. And you just find somebody who might be able to help. I mean, and then also you've got the vast world of YouTube looking at not magic per se, but just how things work. And so I think I've always been kind of good at also researching myself, whether it be in books or on the internet. And sometimes it takes weeks. Sometimes I'm able to find the answer really quickly. But yeah, you don't need the ability, and you really don't need somebody else as well. I mean, you have the access to the internet. Um, Again, it might take you a long time, but just research the hell out of it and just start connecting the dots the best you can, because that's really all you can do. And I totally get the desperate need when you have a great idea and you just want it to come to life. But you know what? Worst comes to worst, you can definitely reach out to people like me. You can reach out to just a lot of these popular creators out there, and even just magic friends. If you trust them, bounce an idea off them, and two heads are better than one a lot of times. So, yeah.
All right, Rohit. I hope that
I
helped
hope
answer
I
your
hope that
question.
answers your
Thank you.
question. I try to be thorough, so I hope that answers your question and gives you some good grounding for that.
All right, thank you, Nick.
Yeah, you got it, dude.
All right, cool. That was a great topic. It's people want to get in your head. They really want to know how you think, and also when you
Dive
do have
in.
these ideas, are you
Dive
going to
in.
people to make them? And obviously, you're the one having to kind of make these things happen. Um, a new face around here. This is a good question because I know this is also something that you have listed on your website, which I do want to pimp real quick because we do have you as a guest tonight. Nicholas obviously teased a couple new things that he's got coming out. Regardless if it's new or older stuff from him, anything, don't forget to check him out, nicholaspresents.com. Of course, we're looking at Anniversary Hearts, which I absolutely love, which is one of his newer releases. But subscribe to his email list. Be sure to do that so that when he does put out new stuff, you're going to be one of the first people to hear about it. And yeah, this was another favorite of mine, Bangarang, which is one of his new ones. But all the new stuff from him, he does a lot of self-producing too. Be sure to support the man himself when you can. It definitely goes a long, long way at the end of the day.
Hey, I really appreciate that, Luke. And just because I do see Anniversary Hearts popping up, and I got it right here in front of me. It's not a trick. Actually, let me start by saying every trick you put out, it doesn't matter how well known you are or how many fans you've got. Sometimes tricks don't resonate with people, and I don't put things out to appease everybody. Uh, so the Anniversary Hearts, that was truly my kind of giving back to the workers. People who are already doing the Anniversary Waltz effect. I've always had this, and I've always wanted them to kind of just add an extra visual phase, just something a bit more magical, to lead up to that souvenir moment, and then going hand in hand with leaving them with an even more magical souvenir. And this is, to be honest, just for the group here, I think that by me showing, I was actually just talking to my friend Worm about this, me showing how it works to maybe a selected few people, I feel like it might push you over the edge to actually check it out. So I'm actually going to show you guys what it is and how it works, just so you guys can see how it's probably not what you were imagining, and how it would actually work in a live setting, and how it's a very practical, reliable method. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys what this is. I guess I could try, just for people who don't know what this is, here, I'm going to just try to stand up here and lean forward a little bit, just to show you this quick moment, right? So the idea is that you have a King of Hearts and a Queen of Hearts, right? This is how you start the trick, whether they're chosen cards or you pick them out for the spectators, because maybe you're performing for a couple. But you just put all the focus on the hearts themselves, right? And as you can see both the hearts on the king, right? And if I just literally do pretty much nothing, just shift the cards over, you can see the heart vanishes from the king and now appears on the queen, right? And what's great about this is there's nothing to hide. There truly isn't. I mean, there's a method, right? And there's a little something, but there's nothing to palm. There's no moving pieces, which surprises people. There's no, dragging a physical heart over. Again, no extra pieces. This is something self-contained that's super easy to do. And hey, if you want to go for it and try to make these things, you can split cards and you can do all this and that. Hell, go for it. But I recommend just picking it up if you like the trick, because it comes ready to go and it's easy to do. So again, I'm not trying to promote this. I just want to give people who are interested in the effect a little bit more inside information and see if it's actually something for you. So let me show you the method, because like everything I create, my dog is going nuts over here.
Calm down, Calvin. Relax, bud.
He likes this trick a lot, so I know I'm going to tell him about it.
You got it.
All right, so here we go. The method for this is cooler, in my opinion, than the effect itself. So let me just put my dog down because he's scratching on my chair. He's my sidekick. Go on. All right. You're like, show me the method already. Come on, you said you were going to say it. Show it to me. Here we go. So it's extremely simple, but it's very deceptive. And the idea here is starting with the queen. Okay, it's mirrored here. Okay, that's the queen. The queen just has a little slit in the card, right on this blue line. There's a little slit, right, cutting straight through the card, so I can kind of show that. There you go, a little slit. Okay, and this is going to come ready to go out of the package. You don't got to cut nothing; it's already cut. And then the other specially printed card has a very specific cut as well, which is just this kind of white section here. It's kind of funny. It's actually almost the shape of Nevada. This is all cut out except for the top. And basically this is going to slip inside of this. So how would I do this? Okay, let's do it like that. Sorry, it's a little weird. I'm trying to show you guys everything, but all right, here we go. So this is going to slip inside of the queen itself. And watch as I do this slowly, you'll see that the actual heart from the queen is actually going to go there like this. So now it's given the illusion that the king has both of its hearts, right? And then if you take that gimmick section and put your thumb on it, you can now fan the cards, right? And it's already set up ready to go, right? So once you're in this position like this, all you have to do for the effect, again, being on camera, this is a little odd in how I'm doing this. I'll just kind of briefly stand up. But now all you have to do is just fan the cards out, just spread them out like this, right? But now with a little bit of cover, you get this really nice moment where they can see this heart here come over to here, right? And that's literally all you have to do. And again, just kind of going back to how simple the method is, it offers you something that's reliable, but also it's just less to worry about. So maybe if you're new to gimmicks and things like flaps and sliding pieces and this and that, this might be kind of something nice to start with. But more importantly, if you're a worker, or even if you're not a worker, if you're just an avid performer, you just like to perform for fun, this is something that's reliable, and I can guarantee everybody watching and anybody who watched the trailer would have never guessed the method and probably thought it was something just like, crazy, this loose little piece or a magnetic piece, but yeah. So just to give you guys a little bit more here, that is Anniversary Hearts revealed. All things Magic Edition.
That's great, man. It's so smart. It's so practical, which is what I was talking about earlier. Also, by the way, for those that don't know, non-magic related, we normally do Taco Tuesday, as you can see, Nicholas. Today is Thursday, but I found out today from the great Charlie Fry that today is actually National Crunchy Taco Day. It's a national day. So I actually
Look at
have
that.
my crunchy tacos here, thanks to the wifey. She just got back with some Taco Bell. So
Wait,
cheers, friends, to
I'm-
National Crunchy Taco Day.
I might be. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go ahead and say crunchy tacos are the best tacos.
Let's see. Let's see what the friends think out there. Are you guys crunchy tacos or soft tacos? We'll put a poll up here on the Facebooks here in a second. Here.
Let's hear it. Here, I'm just gonna step away for 1 second. Sorry, I
Yeah,
got
you're
dogs.
good, man.
But come on, buddy. You wanna go outside?
We'll put up a poll right now for that, soft or crunchy, when it comes to the tacos. But yeah, it's actually National Crunchy Taco Day, I believe is the actual name. So pretty funny. Didn't realize that till Charlie Fry told me.
And
Here we
Charlie Fry, what a guy! And you recently had him on the show as well.
I did, yeah. He was a whole lot of fun for sure. He was a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely some lucky viewers. That guy is like just a madman, and talk about just a master of the craft. Wow.
Yeah, lucky to have him in the industry for sure. One of the reasons I was pulling up your website before, and a new friend that's been posting some nice things about you, his name's Lawrence. He was asking a question a few moments ago, which is why I brought up your website. He was asking about consulting, and if you do consulting, because there is a tab on your website for consulting. But when it comes to
Yeah.
stuff like that, do you do consulting? There it is. There's the question.
Yeah, I do. It's far and in between. I did do. I did the last 2 Dynamo shows for TV consulting, which I think is a great opportunity. That was awesome. I really loved that more than anything. But I have worked with a handful of just everyday, average everyday performers who are just looking for either advice on their routining, advice on an effect, maybe it's something they're creating. Kind of like that question before. I've helped a lot of people just kind of figure out the missing piece to maybe a gimmick that they're working on that they want to release as a physical product. So yes, I definitely do consulting. And by the way, hey Lawrence, I do recognize you. He's definitely been following for a long time, so I appreciate you and I appreciate the question.
Cool. And as a reminder, friends, if you do visit, and I do recommend that you do, visit Nicholas's website, nicholaspresents.com. You will see up in the left-hand corner there on my side is the consulting tab. So that's the quick way to get directly in contact with Nicholas if you do have any of your consulting needs. So I wanted to.
Yeah, I definitely welcome it. Yeah, for sure. It's always nice just to hear about what people are working on and just kind of offering a helping hand. Because I truly believe not everybody. It's kind of like finding a builder in Magic too. It's finding a consultant and somebody who can build Magic products is like there's not a lot of us out there. So it's definitely worth it if you're at a speed bump or you're coming to a halt on a project and you're willing to invest a little bit of money and time. Yeah, we can make something happen for you.
Right on. Good deal. This is a question I had for you. I had a couple of my own, and this is, I feel like, a good time to ask it. We were talking earlier about creativity. Is it learned? Is it something you can kind of, adapt to? And, you're not just born with it. You can be creative if you put the work in.
Yeah.
However, on the flip side of that, let's say that you've been going hard and you get to this spot in your life where you come to a roadblock and you have this creative block. And that happens to writers, the writer's block. But obviously for creating Magic is a very niche and specific thing. But creativity in general, do you have any advice on when you have these creative blocks or setbacks, things maybe you could do to get over these roadblocks you got in front of you?
Yeah, I truly feel like I feel like this was more of a newer realization as I've grown up and matured. Um, but there is no. The funny thing is there is no. There's no answer to that besides. I mean, there's no like cure to it. Besides just accepting it and distracting yourself with life, and it will come back. Something will come to you. Of course, take a little bit of a break, but always keep that effort. If you don't have the effort or you don't have the interest, it's never going to come to you. You're never going to get over that writer's block, or whatever it may be. You've come to a halt in Magic. But I truly suggest taking that much needed break, because sometimes I think people are just like overloaded with seeing all the tricks coming out, or you've learned so many tricks that you just need a little bit of a break. And if you just take a break and accept it as what it is and stop stressing over it, right? Stressing over that roadblock, because that's doing you no good. Stressing over it'll literally do you no good. So if what you do is just take a little bit of break, but keep the passion in the back of your mind, keep the effort. It's just on the back burner, let's say, right? Truly, just put it on the back burner. And if you want it enough, if you love it enough, it'll come. It'll come to you, right? So that's it. It sounds kind of dumb, but I think that's truly how it works, because that's what I do. And it definitely happens to me. But you know what? I really feel like great things come to you in life, not even just Magic, when you're not looking, right? So if you're just living life, you're having fun, you're taking care of business, something's going to come to you. So I hope that helps.
All right, we're right on. And Jeff Williams, who was one of our guests recently as well, says frequent breaks keep the passion alive.
That's it.
Yep. Mike Hankins popped up and says there have been masterclass for cards, coins, cardistry, like a lot of stuff, but nothing for gimmick making. Maybe this needs to change. Cough. Nicholas Lawrence.
Yeah,
Cough.
right. Yeah, I know it, man. Yeah, I think I would absolutely love to do that. I know it would be a lot of work, because
Right.
I would need to compile so much to make sure that each lesson, and really the pick, cherry picking the lessons that I feel would be like most valuable. But you're right, dude. By the way, what's up, Mike? Always good to see from you, hear from you. Great guy. Great question. It needs to happen. There really isn't a lot on it. I think a lot of people are scared with gimmicks and being able to make them perfectly. But you know what? I think if you had something like a master class that you could resort to, and teaching those little tiny things. I mean, even like learning how to use an X-Acto blade correctly, and how, with the amount of pressure and the angles and just being confident. Just learning little tips would kind of break that for a lot of people, because I truly believe a lot of people are not only afraid to perform with gimmicks, they're definitely curious and they're interested in using them. But then once it breaks, it's like, oh no, what do I got to do? I got to buy another one, or is this something I could build myself? So definitely useful information, and it needs to happen. So whoever's hearing this out there, give me a call. Let's set it up.
All right, very good. This is a good question. This comes from Corey Van Balen. Corey's one of our workers out there.
Yeah.
What's one of your biggest obstacles you've had to overcome? One that shaped you the most to who you are today. No, that's a tough one. That's a big one.
Damn. That's juicy. That is juicy. That's a good question, man. Just to give the question the respect it deserves, and really just for me to give my due diligence on answering this. Can you repeat the question one more time?
Absolutely. What is one of the biggest obstacles you've had to overcome? One that shaped you the most to who you are today?
Okay, that's a great question. And
if you need to brew on it, you can brew on it, and we could always come back to it.
No, I love this. I love this, and I think it's a good question, and it might be helpful for others too. So I've always been, since I can't say always, sorry, because that's the whole obstacle that I've gotten over. Is when I was young, I was super, super shy. Super shy. I didn't like being around people. Didn't really, I was really just to myself, and trying to learn magic tricks and taking apart my dad's tools and blah, blah, blah. Just really entertaining myself as a kid. And I got a lot of joy out of that. But I realized in life that you need to get out there, right? You need friends for multiple reasons. And not only that, but with magic, you need to perform it. If you're just sitting in your room all day and just tinkering on tricks and inventing tricks, well, you're just appeasing yourself, and it's great. It's a cool little hobby. But so this was a huge obstacle for me, was to really learn how to connect with people more and to truly be interested in what they're doing, and also to open up the doors of allowing people to be interested in what you're doing. So clearly magic is something people are just instinctively interested in. So that was a nice edge that I had to get out of like being a shy person. But the more I performed when I was younger, I mean, from the ages of, maybe we'll call it, 14, from the ages of maybe like 14, 15 years old to probably about 25. Yeah, I wasn't getting paid to perform magic, but that was my choice. But I was performing magic every day, whether it be from a friend down the street, going to a birthday party, and then somebody finds out that I'm a magician, or basically anywhere you go, and somebody finds out you're a magician. You perform. So that obstacle for me of being super shy, magic was the key for me to really get out there and just learning how to talk to people, learning how to listen to people. All those things, man, really, really helped me. So the obstacle was, being closed off, and the trick to it was tricks, doing magic tricks, and again, talking to people and listening to people, and just enjoying the connection, right? Enjoying the conversation. So I hope that answers that for you, man. But that's 100% what would be the perfect answer for me for that.
Cool. And thank you for sharing. Obviously, there's some
Yeah,
personal
totally.
stuff in there, so yeah, cool.
Yeah.
From one creative giant to another, Roddy McGee says, "Hello,
Roddy, dude, one of my absolute favorites.
Me too.
Like, and not just because he's here watching. He's legitimately just like one of like the main guys when it comes to gimmick geniuses, and you can't throw that word around lightly. But if you guys don't know who he is, which I'd be surprised if you didn't, go check out Roddy's work. That dude is an absolute G when it comes to magic in general. So
absolutely. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. If he would like to call in as well and say hello with his lovely Scottish accent, he's more than welcome to say hello.
Hop on in.
Yeah.
He's doing big things too. He also just started his own production company with a friend, and they've got some great stuff too. Trick Boom, I think it's called Trick Boom.
Yep.
Go check them out.
Yep, that's them.
Gotta support the fellows. You know what I mean? Like, we're out here doing it and we're living it. So
indeed,
gotta show some support.
And that's one thing I love about you is that you and I have talked a lot offline when you were living in Vegas. Yeah. That for some reason in the magic community, people aren't so quick to show support. They're afraid that, if I promote this, they're not going to go, or they're not going to support me or go here, whatever. You and I have been talking about that for so long, about how we should be supporting each other. I mean, Roddy is here.
Literally, just do it. Just do it. Any opportunity you can get.
Yeah.
You did say like things like, maybe it's not going to support, or it's going to take attention away from me and my success. But it's literally not. It's literally not. It's actually, if anything, it'll just show that you're a great person, and and show your true colors of just being thoughtful and caring to not just magic, but the community as a whole. So yeah, dude, any chance I can get, yeah, sure. I'm not going to promote things I don't like if I feel like it just was not ready or if it's not my style. But it's like, man, there's like that quote. It's like, geez, I'm terrible with things like this, but I always remember it, where it's like, maybe you'll know it's oh geez, I feel like an idiot now. I can't think of it. It's the quote about a candle's flame and how
is it the one I have behind
lighting? Is it like lighting someone? No way. Let me see. Is it like lighting someone?
It's behind the. It's a Buddha quote. It says, "Happiness." So a candle, you can light 1,000 candles from one candle, and it doesn't. Crap! I can't.
Well, you know what? That's probably the root. If it's Buddha, I mean,
thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened.
There you go. So that's the more detailed one. I think that's.
Damn it! Yeah, my wife's grabbing it, and it's over here.
Your flame will not be dimmed by, brightening up others. You know what I mean? Letting others shine. So yeah,
I
dude, you
love
best
this
believe it.
quote.
I take every chance I can to uplift others. I mean, people might see it like on my social media, like in my stories. I'll promote other people's stuff. That's not like an affiliate program thing. That's just because I want to
There
let
you
other
go.
people shine. I want to help out. That's it. Dude. That's beautiful too. Wow, look at that.
Happiness never decreases from being shared either. There you go.
That's great, man. Ain't that the truth?
Damn right. Oh, that's
Yeah,
freaking big.
it's a good thing to live by. You know what I mean? We're all in
Yep.
we're all in this together. You know what I mean? Sure. I mean, even me and you, it's like, we don't have to talk every week, every month to know that we're good people.
Yep.
We have similar interests, and we can support each other. You know what I mean? Even the other day, I didn't have my Bangarang in stock, which I'm purposely doing because I want other shops to kind of,
Oh, yeah.
have their time to breathe. I don't want to be like, which, a good point. It's always great if you see a creator and they've got their own company. They're producing their own magic. This is for you guys too. I mean, I'm not saying don't support big companies like Penguin Magic and Murphy's or whoever these big companies, but recognize that there's these guys like me, Roddy, Michael Chatelain. There's a lot of people out there that it means so much to them if you just support them directly. And, if they've got a good track record and they're shipping out things on time and you're actually receiving what you paid for, it might take a little bit longer. Hell, it's really worth it, and it means a lot to us independent guys. So, definitely check out our websites. And make it a point to try to be a little bit more supportive because this is a tough industry to be in. And I'm sure a lot of creators have their own, maybe main jobs or careers where they're bringing in money. Well, I'm not one of those guys. I'm the type of person who'd rather struggle at times and just stay passionate and true to just being a magic inventor. So, I mean, I'm between products, consulting, things like that. That's what I do. That's my main thing. So, yeah, support goes a long way, and just be a good person. Strive for being a good person. It's not going to make you look bad. It's not going to take away from what you're doing.
Yep.
So,
Well said.
yeah.
This has been asked a couple of times. I know it was asked by our friend Mr. Reader. It was asked by. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anyone's. People are basically wanting to know if you had to pick one of your favorite releases.
Oof.
Would you be able to just pick your one favorite? That's a tough one.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's really tough, and honestly, it would be. I would honestly have to just like name a few and why, but because for me the go-to one would be my most recent release, which was Bangarang. Right, it was a new take on a classic effect, visual sandwich trick. I would say that's kind of my favorite for now because I really just like love to perform it every chance I get because it's so visual and it's fairly simple to do. But going back to my first release ever, which was On Off, right? The whole taking off your finger thing. That was the first thing I ever put out, so that will always be really dear to my heart. Pure sleight of hand, knuckle busting, if you want to call it that. But yeah, it's definitely hard to say pick my absolute favorite because I will say I do truly love everything I've put out. And I believe in everything I put out. I believe everything I put out is good and it holds a lesson that's worth learning if you're a magician and you're trying to explore. So I love them all. I love them all, man.
Yeah. And kind of to put a bow on the other topic, Roddy popped up and said, it's tough, man. Supporting independent creators means so much. Most of us can't compete with the bigger companies that offer free shipping, etc. So backing us up means a lot. And we'll just say that's true. 100%.
100%. Yep, I back that.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah, and even Richard noticed that. Before we had Bangarang, I was shouting people over to go buy the stuff from you. So I mean, like, we all win at the end of the day. There's, as my wife said when she jumped in here too. She's like, yeah, there's room at the table for all of us to eat.
That's it. There really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like keep your ego at the door and just be a good person. Like if you love magic, love the people who are in magic too, unless they're just complete, can I say that? Just complete jerks or whatever. Sure, avoid those people.
Yeah.
But most of us, I say, are pretty all right people. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. This is a good question from Jeff Williams. On the flip side of that,
yeah.
not that this is a negative question, but if you could change anything about the current state of Magic, what would it be?
Hmm. I'll tell you what, dude. I'm definitely a very picky, opinionated person, and if you get in a deep conversation with me, I'll just say it. I can be a bit of an asshole when it comes down to just being super particular about things. But there's a lot of things I want to change. But I know for a fact that you'll agree with me on this. It's the revealing magic thing. Like just because it's like, here, look, watch, look, this is how it works. It's like, and so many people can argue it why it's okay and why it might be good and this, but it's like it's total crap. It's like magic is not the behind the scenes of making movies. It's not the behind the scenes of making music. It's not the behind the scenes of painting. It's special. Magic is special, and there's not many things out there that you can say are truly special. Special is not the word for magic, because I can say a lot of art is special. It's great. It's awesome. Whatever. But magic is so unique, and it's been honored for so many years to protect the secrets. It's like, why the hell would you just go and just show people this, but not even putting links for saying, hey, you want to learn some magic? Come check it out. No, it's like you're forcing it down people's throat. You're swiping, and like before even seeing the trick, you're just showing people how it works. And it's like, what's that all about? So if I could change one thing about magic, it'd be that there'd be less reveals on magic. And even like magic creators who go pretty hard on their YouTubes with like just giving away free magic, like free magic diarrhea. I also think that's bad for magic. That's taking, I'll just say it. I'm not ashamed to say it. It's taking money out of the pockets of people who have dedicated their life to be magic creators, right? So it's like magic shouldn't be just this thing that you could just learn for free. Sure, the basics, go to the library, rent a book, and, or even go on YouTube and learn a few fundamentals. That's okay. Some real basic stuff to get your interest going. But when it comes to like marketed products and people are just revealing it just to get some likes and comments and shares, there's only one word that comes to mind. It's just pathetic, And I don't mean to be, a Debbie Downer here, but it's like I love magic. All of us here, we love magic, and when you're a magic creator and you've been doing it as long as I have been, and not that it's been that long. Like I said, it's only been almost 10 years since my first release, but it's a big chunk of my life. I've been doing magic for about 20 something years. Yeah, it just hits a nerve with me. So if I could change that one thing, and just a little touch on something, so this might be something I might be wrong for saying. Maybe I'm being too much of a stickler. But I noticed there's like this popular trend now in magic forums where people will be like, they'll pull something up and be like, what's something I can just expose? Okay, I don't have anything I can expose because if it would have been, it would have been something I've created. But like, they'll show the gimmick and they'll post a picture of it exposed in HD and they'll say, what gimmick is this? I lost the instructions. It's like, you could just reach out to a friend privately, reach out to a couple people privately, and figure out what it is instead of just posting it up on the internet, which is essentially a quick snippet to a reveal, to something that people have to pay money to learn, right? So you're like seeing the gimmick, and it could be something that was just like released a year or two ago. I seen Mark Mason's solo gimmick get posted, and they're like, "What is this?" And it's like, sure, you don't think it's doing damage until people see it, and then they see in the trailer, "Oh, that's solo by Mark Mason. Oh, that's how that trick works." You know what I mean? So again, kind of circling back, revealing magic. You just don't got to do it. Just respect it. Respect it. You know it best. You've got you got the logos and everything, right? It's like, dude, just respect it, man. Just like have respect for the art, and don't. If you're a magician, if you're just getting into it, or if you've been in it for a long time and you're not respecting it, like shame on you, because kind of just going back, it's like, dude, magic is special. It's a special, special thing. Like me and my buddy were just talking about how, when you perform magic for people, there's just nothing like it. You're leaving this memory with people that it's more than just watching a great movie. It's more than if you're into art, going to an art gallery and just seeing these amazing pieces of art. there's something special about magic, and it needs to be respected. It needs to be protected. So I think I've answered the question thoroughly.
Nope.
That's the one thing. If I could change a magic, is revealing magic. Let's get rid of it. Let's put them on the cross. Let's burn them at the stake. That's right.
I mean, it's a consistent trend around here for sure, and it's not because I'm leading that. I'm not carrying that torch, going, "Come on, everybody!" But it has
Yeah.
been a consistent thing that pops up. So I'm glad to know that I'm not the only one out there feeling that
Yeah.
way. You know,
Of course not. Of course not. There's a lot of us out there that feel that way. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a question from me to you. I was also trying to think of other things to try to help people get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
This one is, what is your least favorite plot in Magic?
Oh. Okay. All right. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay,
Wait
I'll
a
have
minute.
a taco. I'll have a taco. Okay.
No, this is great. This is great. Because I just mentioned how I can be a bit of a stickler, and I can be pretty picky and opinionated with magic. Um, I love magic so much, and I love all styles of magic, whether it be stage, parlor, close up, non visual, visual. I love it all. I think that there's something to learn in all of it. So it's hard for me to find maybe my favorite plot or premise, or my least favorite, should I say?
The one that sucks.
Maybe one that's, maybe if anything, I'd name one that is maybe overdone, maybe, or
That's fair.
huh? You know, yeah, man, that's actually a really good question, but it's a tough question.
Sure.
Because I really just love all magic and all things magic. I love it all. Yeah, it's definitely a tough question, but if it does pop in my head as we're
Okay.
chatting, or maybe I kind of segue from another question later, we can kind of reroute back to that.
Yeah,
That is a
that's
great
fair.
question.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No problemo.
Hmm.
Anything still to do or accomplish on your Magic bucket list? Any of those kind of like
Yeah.
things? What you got?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I was just actually talking about this the other night. So, as you guys know, I'm mostly a creator, consultant, things like that. But I do love to perform. My background is, performing, not for money, just for friends. And, in every area of my life, every chance I get, I perform. So it's funny. I say I'm not a performer, and then I perform. And then people call me an asshole after, because it's like I led them, I deceived them. But because I am a decent performer, and I love to perform. So something on my bucket list is I want to, and this might be shooting a little high, but I would love to like win FISM one year. But if not winning FISM, something more important to me is to achieve this special award. It's an inventor award at FISM. And it's something that I've never considered as too far to reach. It's something very achievable for me. And I just got to put in the work and hand select what it is I'm gonna do at FISM to be eligible to win that award. But that's just something on my bucket list, man. I've always thought about it and I've always wanted to do. So to perform at FISM and to win some sort of award, preferably the invention award.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the other side of that coin, you were talking about kind of like the dream scenario, what you would want to do. Do you have a dream effect from Frankie out there? Do you have a effect that you've always been like, this is the thing,
Ooh, yeah, definitely, man. Obviously, there's certain ones where I wouldn't want to just put them out there like that, because I think if you are a creator, you should try to hold things in. But I could talk about one thing that it's just been this effect, and I don't know if it would be great for others, but for me, it's always stuck in my mind, and I know kind of how I could achieve it. But presentation aside, just the raw effect, what would happen is you would have a card selected, right? Card trick. You know me, I love my card tricks. You have a card selected, it's signed, it's lost in the deck. They shuffle the deck, and then maybe it's like a magician in trouble type thing where you mess up, you can't find the card. And then what you do is you pull out your wallet, and inside your wallet, you dump out, let's say you're using a red deck, you dump out 4 blue pieces of playing cards. So like, quadrant, right? Cut up into 4 pieces, but they're actually shaped in a puzzle. So a little like kind of like puzzle piece. I don't know if you guys can see that. So picture you dump out of your wallet 4 little puzzle pieces that make up a card, but it's clearly from an indifferent deck. And you just talk about how Magic, can sometimes feel like a puzzle, or maybe your interest in puzzles. Again, presentation aside, you basically put those pieces together, right? You maybe take a sticker, you stick it to the back so that they can all be held together. But when you turn that card over, it is actually the card that they just signed moments ago, right? So it's something that I was never able to make a prototype that worked correctly. But it's always been a trick in the back of my mind. I've always kept it on the back burner. And I think it's a really cool effect. It's just really hard to achieve. But maybe one day I'll crack that nut and I'll figure it out. And maybe everybody's like, oh, that trick sucks. I don't know. But for me, it's like, I think that sounds really cool to do. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I've got, maybe I can say, I don't want to say thousands of tricks, but it's up there in tricks that I've created and concepts I've come up with. But that's one that's always stuck with me, and yeah, we'll see. I might be able to figure it out, but yeah, it's a cool idea.
Yeah. One of the
Yeah.
things someone asked that I'm glad that you held up your arm, you were showing the puzzle piece on your arm. Brian Cornwall was asking, do you have any reveals in your ink? Do you have any built-in stuff with any of the tattoos that you've got there?
So this is actually a cool quick story. So no, I don't actually have any that I purposely did that was a reveal, but I just thought this was so interesting. So I got these very cliche tattoos on my hands of the love hate, but these do mean a lot to me, and I got them with these nautical stars on my hands as well. I got these at the same time, and it's because I was at a point in my life where I was so aware how there was truly great, beautiful people out there that just want to see you succeed, but there's also the other side of that coin, and there's some pretty shitty people out there who just don't want to see you succeed, and they're out to get you, and they're just they're not rooting for you. So these tattoos were kind of just a reminder for me that not everybody is just rooting for you and everybody's on your team, because there's people out there, so you have to be aware and have a good radar on those style of people. So when I got these tattoos, they weren't meant to be a card reveal. You guys might not see this coming, but after I got these tattoos, I got these tattoos. Sorry, wrong hand. The mirroring of the camera messes me up a little bit. But you see spades, hearts, clubs, diamonds. And I was sitting here looking at the spade one day, and you guys might see this. I'm just sitting here looking at it, and I go, holy shit, that looks like it says ace. A-C-E. So let me see if I can show you guys that. A-C-E.
Sure does.
Spade. So the C is actually a T, right? Because if I tell you that says hate, that says hate. But if I bring up the spade and I say it looks like ace, it looks like ace. So there's my my magic reveal. Pretty cool.
That's
Yeah.
cool. All right, that'll work.
I've also used I have a stopwatch on my wrist which says the time I was born. So I used to use that when I was like playing with like Turner watch style effects. I'd use that as well. But yeah, this is mainly my reveal. Ace of spades there.
Dig it, man. That's cool.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
A happy
And
accident.
again, it was a total coincidence. Wasn't planned, So that's why I think it's a bit more interesting.
This next question is really, really good. And we will start to wrap up soon, Nicholas, because I know I told you we go about 45 minutes to an hour, so I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Yeah, I got maybe about another 10 minutes or so, maybe a little bit less. If that's okay.
This one is really good, and it might be the one we actually end up closing shop with. When you come up with a method or gimmick, how do you check to see if it's new with all the magic out there? So in general, crediting and fact checking. How the hell do we do it? How do we do it?
Well,
get it right.
So number one, if you're diving into creating, you've probably already learned a lot of magic, right? So that's key, is to already know what's out there, right? And if you're new into magic and you're already kind of getting that creative bug, well then you gotta research. You know what I mean? And you gotta always just be you got to be weary though, because you know a little bit of rule of creating is not to show too many people. Keep it in your close circle. But yeah, just you know, I mean, you can just search on Google. You can search these websites that sell magic tricks, you know, like real popular ones, and just hop on there and maybe just type in a keyword. You know, go down a rabbit hole on YouTube and find trailers that have been posted on there. Which you start with Google. Um, you know, definitely ask some close friends. But yeah, it's just putting in the effort. You know, just put in the effort and just search around. We have these tools like the internet that are available to us. So, and you know, if you want to be vague about it, you know, and you don't want to reveal what exactly you're working on, the premises are, you know, usually pretty similar to each other. So you can just ask someone. You can say, "Hey, I'm working on this torn corner effect, where the corner vanishes and it appears somewhere else, but it's done in a completely unique way." You know, what if it's something like that? Well, just start off with that question. Say, "Hey, do you have any of your favorite torn corner effects? Is there any visual ones out there?" Right, so not giving too much away, and just open up conversation with other magicians. I mean, you guys have the Zoom chat that you guys have. I'm sure between, you know, 5, 10, 15 of you guys, it's going to make it a lot easier to figure out what's out there. You know, just relying on your own head, right? So yeah, hop in the Zoom chat and you know, ask the people. Be a little bit vague about it. Not that you can't trust everybody. You guys definitely seem like a good group, but you know, it's just the number one rule with magic for me is creating is definitely try to keep it private and secretive. Um, but you can be vague, you know, and just ask questions. You know, again, oh, it's a torn corner effect. Is there any visual ones out there? And that'll kind of lead you down the road of you know, picking it apart and seeing what's already out there. And then once you do, confirm it, find out if it is. And I will end this question with this: if it's already been done, you know, don't strive to just, you know, put it out because it was an independent idea of yourself. If somebody else already created it, just, you know, respect it. Don't step on any toes, and look at that as a sign that maybe you need to take it further. Maybe you need to take it in a different direction, because the most rewarding thing about creating, in my opinion, is coming up with something that hasn't been done before, and that you're sharing something new with the community, right? You're offering some value, and not only entertaining the community with something new, but you know, just it's like a service to the community to give something new that can be a great tool to portray what you're trying what you're trying to show your audience. So yeah, I think I went a little bit on a tangent there in the end, but I think that answers the question.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on that, because these are not questions for me, but I think one last thing to mention is that if you do have something similar to someone else and you are thinking of releasing it, reaching out to the creators is usually a very easy thing to do, and most of the time they're going to be
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, that's cool. Here, I'll give you a quote, or I'll,
Yep.
yeah, let's work together, or something like."
Yeah, as long as it's not the same exact thing, and it holds its weight and it's got some value to it, it's a new lesson to be learned, a new moment. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's always nice just to kind of reach out to the people who did it first,
Yeah,
especially most recent years. It's kind of be like, "Hey man, you know, I see you got this trick. I'm working on something really similar. Is this something original enough, or is this okay with you if I put this out?" And again, most of the time they're going to say, "Yeah, it's no problem." And you know what? You end up getting a friend out of it, or a mentor out of it, or you know, somebody you can bounce ideas with. So yeah, super cool.
yeah. I just, I think little things like that are important to note too, because a lot of people think creating magic and selling it is sexy. You know, it is fun, but it's also something that you don't want to rush to do. Just take the right steps and then put it out.
Yep. Yeah, it definitely feels great, but you nailed it, man. You nailed it. Take the steps, respect it,
Yeah.
and it's going to mean a hell of a lot more to you. Yeah, and
Yep.
it's going to mean a lot more to the community as well. So
Absolutely, yeah. And let's be honest, man, word gets around quick in this community. So, in the magic
that's
world.
right. Dude, I'm surprised I haven't been burned at the stake yet. No, I'm just joking. No, you know, I think I've lived a pretty, I've walked a pretty straight line in the community, and you know, just do your best. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, your hat says it all, man. If you respect the art, you can't go wrong.
Damn right. As we wrap this chat up, any last thoughts, any last things? Again, my friends, don't forget, to check him out outside of this on the regular. NicholasPresents.com. It's the official Nicholas Lawrence website. Also for consulting. He's also got some downloads, which are pretty cool, that some people may not have seen. Some of these things are really, really fun. Sliders, pretty damn dope, actually. I remember downloading some of these things on my own. And do you remember that when I actually grabbed a couple, you hit me up and you're like, wait a second, you're actually like supporting me? Like, come on,
Dude, yeah,
like
yeah, like it blew me. Yeah, it's surprising, but it's
it's
like
what we do.
but it's not surprising for someone like you. But it was a
Eh,
nice, it was a nice little surprise, and it felt nice, for sure.
um, and can I? Is it okay if I mention something about distance without giving away anything? Can I say something
Yeah,
about that, or do you
yeah,
not want me
go
to?
for it. You know what? For this group, go for it. Let's see.
Or do you want to tip that part? 'Cause to me, that was one of the coolest things you told me about the new release, without giving away too much about what the rest of the gimmick is that you can do with the new Sharpie thing.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so basically, in its yeah. Why not? Why not?
Are
Okay,
you
so
sure? I don't want to push it.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So this one is coming out next. I'm still dotting the i's and crossing the t's on everything, but Sharpshifter is a utility gimmick, and it's something that is so versatile. There's so much you can do with it. But if you know my effect Distance, which I put out, I think it was almost 8 years ago, and then I put out the newer version, which it still wasn't like the Distance 2.0. It still just wasn't what I wanted it to be, but it was getting closer. The cool thing about this new release is it can do that trick plus so much more. It just so happens that it's like built into the design, and it makes it like the best version. It makes it the best version of this effect. So yeah, if you don't know the effect, right, you take a pen, and you make the cap fly through the air, and it caps on the pen. The cool thing about the 2.0 was that it was examinable, but still, again, it just wasn't perfect for me. It was like I was still unsatisfied. But it just so happens that with this new thing I'm putting out, it can do that trick, the best possible version of that trick, in my opinion, at least in our reality right now, plus so much more. So that's why it's truly a utility. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely a utility. It's going to come with a bunch of cool different tricks and ideas. But I'm just like, it's one of those things where I'm definitely going to start like a Facebook group for, because I feel like so many people are going to get it, and they're going to come up with their own, whether it be phases to what I've created, or maybe possibly a unique effect using this gimmick. So yeah,
Follow up on that real quick. How soon? Do you have any kind of estimated time for
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So the timeline is about on a if everything goes really good, 2 months from now, maybe even a little bit sooner. Like the pre-order thing could be maybe about a month and a half away. If some hiccups come up, and they do come up when you try to do these kinds of things, it could take up to 3 months. But that'll go by quickly. So in the next couple months, we'll say.
Okay. All right. Very good. I had to end on that because that was one of my favorite things that you could do with that new release, and it reminds them again to sign up for your newsletter right here on the front page of your website, so that when you do have this as a pre-order or it's coming out, they'll be the first to know. And I think that phone call is probably going to close this up over here. So.
Look at that! It's Saved by the Bell. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, I'm glad we didn't have too many disturbances besides
Oh, the dog.
besides my buddy Calvin. He was a little bit disturbing, but besides that, it was a great call. It was definitely. It's always a pleasure and an honor just to be a part of a group and to be here with you guys today. So thanks for checking it out. Thanks for hanging out with us. Super appreciate it, man. Thank you.
No, we appreciate you. And I guess just one last little question, because you are in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Do you plan on being active again at conventions? Maybe because I know you're getting settled there. Will
Yeah,
people
yeah, yeah.
start seeing you more in person again? Maybe in the next couple of years.
For
or so?
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, man. I'm never in a rush to do anything. And right now I'm just living life. But best believe I've got plans to be at both Magic Live and Blackpool in the future. And annually, be there, with my booth and selling tricks and hanging out.
Okay.
So yeah, I definitely separated myself a little bit, but coming soon.
All right. Just
Yeah.
had to make sure, because I know people want to know
Yeah.
that they miss you in
For sure,
person,
for
hanging
sure.
out and stuff, so, including me.
Yeah, I'll be there, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you, Luke, especially and getting a big fat plate of sushi and just jamming on Magic. So,
Hell yeah. Bring it on. Bring it on. All right, buddy. Well, much love, Nicholas. Thank you again for the time. It is early in the morning for him. What is it, like 10 or 11 a.m. where you are? So
yeah, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and we started this at 8:30. So I was up at about 7:30, which is a little early for me, but it was totally worth it. It was totally worth it, and I love you guys. So it was awesome.
We appreciate you, my friend. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great weekend. And Nicholas, anything you need to promote down the road, we're all here for you. So love to help you out.
I appreciate that. I've been doing my best to be a little bit more active in the groups, but it's not for everybody. So.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks again,
Cool.
and I will catch you very soon, my friend.
All right, guys. See you later.
Cool. One of the best in the biz, and you can tell he's not just great at creating magic. He's also one hell of a guy in general too. And thanks to him. And you guys are hanging out on Thursday, on a Thirsty Thursday. I did want to say real quick, the reason that we didn't have a show Tuesday, I had a corporate gig pop up over at Mandalay Bay here in Las Vegas. So I was over there doing that. And then last night I popped over to the Paris and I was performing there. So that is kind of more and more what I'm wanting to do is perform. So that was the reason why we had to bump this from Tuesday to Thursday. But we will be back next Tuesday with another Taco Tuesday show. Not sure if we're going to have a guest or just go for one of our old shows for a week and just kind of see how we do for a week. But stay tuned. I'm going to definitely keep you on your toes as the year goes on. So keep an eye on that. Real quick on the way out, I'm going to probably pop up maybe this weekend with the top 3 from this week. But I wanted to tell you about something that just came out today. It didn't just come out today, but I got access to it today. And this one is F-bomb approved, which is why I want to kind of get out of here with it. And don't forget as well, we do have all of our Nicholas Lawrence products on sale for tonight only on the All Things Magic website. So we have the link in the chat. But this one, I saw a video about the Blackpool convention. People do like the best tricks. And I saw this and I'm like, holy shit, is that a great idea? This is fantastic. This is taking the old production box concept and this is applying it to what looks to be an Amazon box. So I will say this is the large version. Early next week, we're going to be getting the smaller version. And the dimensions for this one are at the bottom. But this is absolutely F-bomb approved because it looks like a prop. Excuse me, it doesn't look like a prop. It looks like an Amazon box you would get delivered to your door. They also include stickers and stuff like that. So for me, this is F-bomb approved. Anytime people take like a prop and they make it look like an everyday thing, I'm interested. And this is really, really badass. It's F-bomb approved for sure. So I love it. That's called the Prime Box from George Glacius and Twister Magic you might be familiar with. So that is a highlighted thing I want to talk about tonight. Another fun thing that just popped in, another card warp. This one is from Mario Lopez, and it has a kicker ending that you guys need to watch. I'm not going to ruin it here, but this just came in, and I'm very excited about it. And this just dropped today, too, from David Jonathan, a brand new project. This one is just for iPhone users, though. I do want to say it. Feel free to check out the video. There's 7 different things you can do with this project, 7 different tricks you can do that are included in this project. But this just dropped today as well. So I just wanted to kind of get out of here with a quick little look at some of the brand new stuff that just hit our website. Not to mention, for those that have been waiting, MiniBook Pro is finally back in stock.
Oh, yeah!
This is back in stock. Been waiting to get these and the refills for MiniBook Pro. So if you've been waiting to get those MiniBook Pro refills, they are also now available on the All Things Magic website too. And today, Ben Seidman, his Vanity Fair Part 2, he did another one of these about a year ago. This is him taking a look at sleight of hand and visual magic in movies and TV. And we are featuring this on the All Things Magic website. So have a look at that. Show Ben Seidman some support. Can't believe it's been almost 20 years since he and I were consultants for Chris Angel on the Mind Freak TV show. So have a look at that. He also performed some really cool stuff on there too. So have a look at that too. All right. So that is going to do it. Let's see what our goal is. We are about 40% there. So I guess we should at least do a single giveaway tonight. So let me just confirm that. This is actually 53% on my end. So we should actually do one of our Star Supporters giveaways. Whoa, that Prime box definitely has my creative juices running, and that's more affordable than the prediction box. Yes, it's sweet. You know, we had some people asking earlier today about would this work with like Collard, to make the little plush animal appear, and you totally could. It's great. So big fan of the Prime box. That's one of my top picks this week for sure. And it's all. And one other thing about it that I should not let you not know about, that I need to make sure you know about. Another reason I love this, the biggest reason, it's examinable at the end. So you show the box empty, you close it, you reach inside, you pull out your thing, and at the end, the box is 100% examinable. That is really, really nice. And it's also very well made, so it's going to last you too. So I wanted to mention that. All right. So there we go. I do have to add friends now to our stars giveaways. So I'm actually going to go through our list and take a peek at those names now. So give me a second on the back end here while I do that. And thank you, Sammy, for the love, joining us late tonight. Thank you for your support as well with the stars. I saw Sammy out there. All right. So let's do it to it. Let me add a few of our friends out here. Sammy Hatsa. Oh, you can't see what I'm looking at here, so let me come back over here. I got a lot of people to add, so I'm gonna do my best to make this as tidy and quick as possible. I will do my best. All right, so hang tight for a second. All right, here we go. Yeah, I needed to fix that too. There we go. All right, cool. So I'm gonna bring this over here. And we're gonna add some names. I got the names over here. I got Big Lou. Thank you for your dono tonight, Mr. Big Lou. Appreciate you. Richard Zach, I got you up here. And next week, we'll also be doing our $100 shopping spree giveaway for our top star supporters over the last few weeks. So stay tuned to find out if you are one of our top star supporters big giveaway winners with a $100 shopping spree to the All Things Magic Shop. That's right, we take care of our top supporters by giving you a chance to win even more stuff. All right, Eric Elmore, thank you for your support out there. Mike McClure, let's see you, Mike. There we go, Mr. Mike. Thank you very much. Mr. Steve Timpkin, how we doing, Steve? Good to see you out there. Thank you for dropping your support tonight. We also have Mr. Michael Dockett. How we doing, Mr. Michael? Add your name right here. Dockett. And John Wolf. I think I got John on there already. So we got John on there. Thank you for the double dono. Actually, you donated a couple times. Alrighty. Got Brian Cornwall. We've got Scott R. Smith with a big 10,000 star dono. So we got to get him on here a couple times. Scott R. Smith. We'll get him on there twice. Alrighty. Derek Bumpus tonight coming in with the support for our show. Thank you for that. Ryan Jones as well. Thank you, Ryan. Got a few more to go, my friends, so hang tight for just another moment to see if you are one of our winners tonight. Peter Nile, one of our regular supporters. Thank you, my friend. Josh Huff, the Huffster in the house. Thank you, Josh. Alrighty. We'll get a little more this going here. We're almost at the end of our list, so we're almost there. Ray Coleman. Mr. Ray, I got you covered there, Mr. Ray. And I think you were the last person to donate, so that is good on my list here. All right, so I'm going to bring this back up here. All right, I think I got all you beautiful people that have donated to tonight's show. As a reminder, we are currently not doing our free giveaways. We are still holding back on those for at least another week. It just became a nightmare, honestly, so we decided to just put that on pause because unfortunately people started to really take advantage of that. All right, so thank you to all of our supporters out there. We appreciate your support. And one more reminder, don't forget all of our Nicholas Lawrence products on the All Things Magic website are on sale tonight only. Don't miss out on that. All right, so let me just double check. I see Billy mentioning that he donated. Let me just go through my list real quick. I have a list on the back end of everyone that donated, and I'm not seeing Billy on our list. Let me double check here. So Mike McClure, got you, Eric, Jeff Williams, Sean Carter. Yes, I'm not seeing a dono from Mr. Billy out there. Unless I just... Hold on a sec, I can look at it here. Let me double check that. Let's take a peek. don't want to leave anybody out. But at the same time, we are not doing the free giveaways. I know some people get confused by what's free and what's not. So let's see. Donated 45 stars. Unfortunately, that doesn't meet the minimum requirement, Mr. Billy. The minimum is 200 stars to enter for our giveaways, so that's probably why it's not showing up. We do appreciate your support, but it is a minimum of 200 stars to enter our giveaways for free stuff. Will Reader, keep doing you, Luke. We don't free stuff, especially when you're giving previews like Lawrence Friday. You got it, buddy. Glad people are appreciating that. So there we go. All right, friends, let's do it. But thank you, Billy, for the dono. All right, let's go ahead and see who our winner is. Of course, we did not meet our goal tonight, which is perfectly fine, but we will see who's going to win some stuff. And I want to switch this over to the slot machine. So let me do that real quick. There we go. Looks better. Here we go. Good luck, my friends, and thank you for your support. Let's see. Congratulations goes out to one of our old pals, the one and only Mr. Peter Nile.
Congratulations!
Congratulations going out to Peter. Now the big question is, I don't know if Peter is here. I know some people have to run, and that's cool. It is a work night. But if Peter would like to press his luck, we are going to give him the opportunity to go for an even bigger prize if he's up for it. Now, if Peter is no longer watching because he had to get ready for bed, but he says he is here and he wants to press it. So he wants to officially press his luck. Alrighty, so Peter has spoken, and hello to our chat room out there in the All Things Magic Lounge. All right. We need to get rid of Mickey Mouse. All right. So we have got all sorts of prizes on here. Along with the prizes, we also have half prizes and half whammies. I want to mix up those whammies. But it is an even 16 of each. 16 of each. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but on our last show, we ended up giving away the foam catch by Julio Montoro. So I do need to remove that because we are now officially out of that. And in its place, we will put the Jumbo Wow 2. We'll put that on there instead. These retail for $100. It's the same price as the foam catch from Julio Montoro. So that is a $100 prize being switched for another $100 prize. All right, so here we go. We're going to mix these up, mix up the whammies, keep them separated here. And of course, he may win a prize and he may win a visit by the whammy. Let's see. Good luck. Good luck. Here we go, everybody. Let's see. Thanks for joining us on a Thirsty Thursday. Thanks for being here. This is also a prize worth $100, and I think he got it. It's a copy of Rise from Sean Scott.
Congratulations!
Big ol' congrats going out to our buddy Peter Nile, who was officially going to win this. Send us an email, info@allthingsmagic.com. This one is really, really fun. You have a crushed can that you step on, and then it restores itself. If you guys haven't seen it, this is really damn cool. I think Peter would actually really have fun with this, kind of knowing the stuff that he does. But yeah, literally you have this crushed can, and then it visibly restores itself. So anyway, going to Peter Nile. There we go, and thank you for being here, my friend, and thank you for the donation. All of you, my friends, tonight. As a reminder, Peter, you got 1 week to claim your prize. I have a feeling to do it, but if you don't, then the prize is, of course, no longer valid. So there we go. Congratulations to Peter on winning some magic tonight. All right. Very good. Very, very good. I wanted to take a look real quick at our poll. I put this up and I forgot to take it down, so it should still be going. I was asking earlier because today is actually National Crunchy Taco Day. Thank you, Charlie Fire, for letting me know that. And I asked the question for you. Your preference, was it crunchy or soft tacos? I'm showing the results now on Facebook, and it looks like our results are 56% of you said crunchy, with 44% of you right behind saying soft. So it looks like the crunchy tacos do win on the National Crunchy Taco Day. So there we go. That was a good one. Another thing I wanted to mention to you before we get out of here is that on our Instagram, if you are not following us over on Instagram, we are It's All Things Magic. I put a little poll up over there too. I want to tell you a quick story, and then I'm going to go, because this is something that happened to me last night when I was finished up performing. And I wanted to ask you guys here too. But be sure to participate in the poll over on the story for All Things Magic on Instagram, and drop us a follow while you're there too. But this is it right here. So the story, it's like a 30-second story. I was performing, I was leaving, I was going down the elevator. This person did not know I was a magician, so they weren't like at the show thing I was doing. I was leaving, and the person in the elevator said, "Wow, I really like your jacket." And I said, "Oh, thank you very much." And they said, "Oh, is it this brand or this brand?" I'm like, "No, I don't think so." But in my mind, I'm already thinking like a magician, because I had Priceless on me. I've always got it on me when I'm performing. And so I'm like, what do you think it cost? I'm like, "Thank you very much." So I had the marker in my pocket, and I grabbed my wallet. This is one of the things they teach you. And I said, "How much do you think the jacket was?" I said, "Oh, maybe like $1,500, maybe $2,000. And I said, "Interesting." And so I wrote it down. And I said, "You know what's funny? I actually didn't buy the jacket. I took it and I flashed the inside, and it was the security tag." And I'm like, "No, I took it." Then, and this is out of the elevator now. And then when I got out, I'm like, "Actually, I didn't buy it, but I took my jacket off and I showed the sale tag, and it says $1,500. And this was like the first time ever that I've done a piece of magic, and someone, like, she really thought I stole the jacket. Uh, she really thought that I was telling the truth, even when I told her I'm a magician, and I showed her that the price matched. I said, "Yeah, look, it was actually $1,500. To her, in her head, she was like, "Yeah, I knew it." It was like, shit. Like, maybe that's not a trick you just do for a random person, because if they get it right, it's like, of course I was right. But of course, normally when you do the trick, you're having them name the dollars and the cents, and you making a thing. But I really thought that was funny that they thought I really stole the jacket. So that was my little story. So have you ever had a thing when you did magic where the trick that you did just went over their head? And on our poll on Instagram, let me know yes or no. Over on Instagram, 75% of you said you've had performed where someone missed the point of the trick you did, it went over their head, and 25% of you over on Instagram said no, not yet. So that was pretty funny. Someone thought I actually stole the damn jacket. So there you go. All right, friends, we'll be back again on next Tuesday, 8:30 Eastern time for our next show. And like I said, I'll probably be popping up again to do another live stream this week. I know we're already at Thursday, so we'll see. But that is going to do it for our Thirsty Thursday. And thank you to Nicholas for his time. Thank you guys for rescheduling with us this week. And we'll be back again to do it on next week's show. So let's get out of here in style. Here we go. Thank you, my friends, for hanging out in the All Things Magic Lounge. Good to see some new faces out there. See William out there, William Cummings. I see Jeff's in here again. Who's that? J. David Teeman's chilling. We've got Frankie who's streaming the chat. Thank you for that. We got Corey, Rich Gilbert, got John Shack, who was hanging out with Jason R. Smith the other day. We got Cody eating some food, Justin Teeman chilling, Joe Berman is behind the scenes, and Michael Dawkins also chilling as well. And Scott R. Smith is holding it down right above Mike Hankins, and right above our new friend William, we have Daniel Ricks, and we have a whole lot of great people. And Orlando just popped on. What's up, Orlando? Good to see you, buddy. So thank you, my friends, for hanging out, staying late tonight. I know we went long, but we'll catch you on next week's show. All right, everybody. And yes, there was one last thing. Reminder to be respectful in the lounge. We have actually had, thank you for reminding me, wifey. We've actually had emails and messages about people being disrespectful in the lounge. It does go without saying, be respectful and make everyone feel welcome in the lounge. It is a service that we offer. We do not have to do it, but I do it because I love you and I want you to have a place to hang out and chat, but don't rub each other the wrong way. It defeats the purpose of the whole thing. So with that said, much love, guys. See you, Glenn Henry. Mike McClure. Catch you next time, buddy. Thank you, Brian. Thank you. Appreciate that very much. You got a Ray. Catch you next week, buddy. Hopefully. And happy spring, friends. It's now nice and warm outside. Getting there. Derek Bumpus. Thanks, my friend. And yes, Nicholas is one of my favorites as well. What a guy. Mr. Reader, no room for that shit. Be kind to fellow brothers. Damn right. And yes, cut the shit. Cut the shit. Mr. Cram and the fam. We'll catch you all next time. See ya.
Thank you, and good night.